Hello everyone, welcome back to Dear Dance. I am so excited today. Thank you so much if you're watching live. Welcome. You can comment in the chat and we'll be able to see it and share throughout the video, which is really cool. We can bring your comment up onto the screen, so if there's something that you like or you want to play one of the games with us, definitely interact over on the side where you see a little chat thing. And today I am so excited. My guest, Christopher Bledsoe. I always get nervous that I'm going to say the name wrong, but he is literally, I don't know what he doesn't do. He is a master at a million different things. He is a hip-hop dancer, a West Coast swing dance instructor. He is a singer. I have so many things written down. A tennis instructor, a cook. He's writing a cookbook. He's a poet, an author, like literally a voiceover actor. Like literally, what doesn't he do? He is amazing, and even just in the short time that I've gotten to chat with him off screen, he is so sweet, and I'm so excited to have him on the show. So he sent me a few videos, and I wanted to share one with you that I thought was really fun, and then we're gonna bring him on. So let's check it out.
Down to San Francisco, or maybe you can find them down in Puerto Rico. But watch out for the sneaky snakes and Bay Pico. If you float to Costa Rica or you flying to Topeka, I heard in Massapequa in the Bay at Chesapeake. The ribbit, do it even as we speak. You find yourself a hip-hop frog. He could be Filipino, almost certainly Latino. If you could get one to listen, you'll be holding up auditions in search of Bombay or England, Moscow to LA, China. You could cite one, it might even be the right one. From Europe to Paris, where they think a lot of me. Don't feel left out, you know we love you, no doubt. Just get yourself a hip-hop frog.
So fun. I need to know more information about this hip hop frog because, like, I'm obsessed. Okay, let's give him a big round of applause. Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome, Christopher, aka the hip hop frog. I'm obsessed. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. That brought back so many memories.
I love it. We're going to have to get into that. But first, I wanted to start off with our craft for today. So, because you told me that you're writing a book, I wanted to make our own little one-page paper book. And I think that we'll be able to do a really awesome job. So this is what's going to look like when we're finished. But it starts off, all you need is one piece of paper. So we're going to fold it first. Let's see here. We're going to fold it hot dog style. So the long way. Here we go. Here we go. It's a little ASMR for anyone who enjoys that. Then once you fold it this way, you're going to unfold it and fold it hamburger style. I've realized that this is only in America do people say that they fold paper hamburger or hot dog style. My guests who are not from America have no idea what I'm talking about. So once you've folded, so it should have like kind of 4 creases. Amazing. Perfect. You're a master. Another thing you're good at. So now we're going to fold into the middle on both sides. So let me do one over here. Let me show this. So folding it like down into the middle and then folding it this way into the middle. Let me make sure I do it evenly. Okay. So far, so good.
Okay.
I haven't burned down my house, so I'm thinking it's a success so far. And yours already has some nice drawings and doodles. I love it. Okay, so now that we've folded it, it should have, yes, gorgeous, incredible. Now, the trick that we need to do is fold it in half again, and you're going to cut just down the first quarter. I think that's like, let me show you. Let's see here. So we have it folded in half, and you're going to cut right in the middle down the seam. Just one little box so that it has that. So when you open it, it has like a little mouth peekaboo hole in the middle.
So just one box in the middle, right?
Exactly. So it covers the two in the middle right there. Amazing. So now we're going to fold this in half, and you want to kind of push it to make it like a little diamond shape. And then you're going to fold it up and kind of flatten it out. And you have a little book. And you can draw on it. I have markers here, so I can just do a little like,
Gotcha.
let's see, I'm gonna draw. And then it's like a little
Oh,
little
cool.
booklet. Oh, amazing. It looks so good. Yay, we did it. Our craft was
Gotcha.
successful. Amazing. I'm going to give us a round of applause because we deserve it. I was nervous because a lot of the recent crafts have been stressful. So thank you for going on that journey with me. Okay, now that we have done our craft, I would love to know your dance history. How did you start getting involved in dance?
Well, I was born and raised in Mississippi, and in the South, music is an integral part of our lives, and um, I was always this. I was always the different kid. So, as a kid, I loved, of course, the blues and all of the music that is germane to being reared in the South. But I also loved country. I also loved rock. And my mom was like, "Who are you?" And so I loved Garth Brooks, Shania Twain, and I realized at a young age that I loved a variety of music. I didn't allow myself to just identify with one or two genres. I loved an entire variety of music, and music and singing was just always so medicinal to the soul. And I remember reading a book once, and it said that if you're feeling sad, listen to music. It's guaranteed to put you in a better mood. And I realized that God had given me the gift to create music through singing. And I just thought, wow, not only do I have the gift of music, but I have the gift to create it. And it was something that was just very, very special to me. And I just love dancing. I grew up watching Michael Jackson, James Brown, um, and then, of course, Aretha Franklin and different ones singing. And I would always emulate everything that Michael Jackson did. I'd emulate everything James Brown did. And I would just do it, do it, do it. And it was just something that made me happy. And when I was about 16 years old, I got an offer to teach dance lessons, which I was like blown away because I had been in local talent competitions. And my first class that I taught was country line dancing. And it was so interesting because being in Mississippi and teaching country line dancing, because that was very popular at the time. And it's so unique because um, uh, Wynona's Judd's song, No One Else on Earth, um, was the first song that I taught a country line dance to. And what's so interesting about that, being 16 years old, and that was the first class I taught, and that was the first song that I used, and I taught what was called the Boot Scootin' Boogie. Um,
Ooh.
and I, I taught that class, and all these years later, when I really fell in love with West Coast swing and really got to a level that I was good at it, that song, Winona Judd, No One Else on Earth, there's a new version of it, and that was the song like I performed and I knew I really arrived. And
Mm.
how ironic a full circle in life that that was the song that I started with in a different genre of dance, and then when I really arrived and said, you know, because my instructors were like, "Oh my God, you're so great. You work so hard. You practice. You're great." But I never felt that I was great until that day. Then I was like,
Mm.
"Okay, I've arrived." So I always just it's so unique how things become a full circle in life. I absolutely love dance. I think it's just it's an amazing expression. It gives you a moment to be free. It gives you a moment to sometimes be the person that you 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 just let go of all of your reservations, your fears, your um, restraints, and you just be free, and you just let cosmos and uh, the energy of creativity just take over the body, and you just make these magnificent things. And so I just all my life I've just been a singer and a dancer, and I just loved it. I'm a master level hip hop instructor, and hip hop was just my favorite, and I just love it. And it was something, just teaching other people, not, seeing moments where students get aha moments and they get it, and you see them enjoying it, and uh, the freeness with music, because a lot of people in every genre of music, they're so focused on counts and trying to get everything so perfect. And my biggest concept is enjoy it. It should put a smile on your face. You should enjoy what you do. Yes, keep your standards, but enjoy it. It should make you happy. And I just have been a strong advocate of, we don't just perform steps, we enjoy what we do. And so it's been amazing. And years ago, I hated West Coast swing when I saw it, because I was teaching East Coast swing, and I was an East Coast swing fanatic, and I was teaching it, and the West Coast swing people would come to the East Coast swing parties, and we would have these big, huge parties, and I always believed in dressing to the nines. I would have a matching fedora and the whole 9 yards. And ever so often, there was a song that was played was at a tempo that Westies or West Coast swing dancers would dance, and I would look over at them and I would go, "Oh, that dance is so boring. It's so slow. They must be depressed. I hate that dance." And it's hilarious, because that was my first analysis of West Coast swing, seeing it, because I was so accustomed to dancing 90 miles an hour, doing the Charleston and the Shorty George and all of those dances. And but when you the East Coast swing parties were 3 hours long, and when you dance 90 miles an hour for 3 hours straight, I almost needed a wheelchair to be taken out of the parties. And I remember saying one day, that West Coast swing thing that I saw, I just hated it, but at least they move slower.
Yeah, I was gonna say, could you, for people who don't know about West Coast swing or East Coast swing, which I didn't even know was that there were two different things, could you give a little bit more information for people who don't know about this style of dance and how, I'm sure they know what it is, but they might not know they know what it is, I guess. So I would love to know more for myself and for other people who are listening.
Absolutely. West Coast swing is a partner dance. And one of the most magnificent things about West Coast Swing is it's a connection between two people that has a premise of certain dance patterns. And the entire concept is improv. And I so love that. So in East Coast Swing, we have structured dance of the Charleston, the Shorty George, the Jitterbug. And you know those dance rhythms and you learn them and then you pair up with the partner. West Coast Swing has a 6 count pattern and an 8 count pattern. And so you learn the basics of that dance through those patterns. But then once you connect with the other person, the entire process is improvisational. It's a moment of
Wow.
myself making an offer and the dance partner accepting. And when we perform West Coast Swing, a lot of times people go, "Oh my God, that was so magnificent. How long did you guys work on the choreography?" And I go, "No, that was all improv." And so
Wow.
yeah, one of the ways I describe it, it's like a leader and a follower both in front of a canvas, and we both have paint. And we can take our paint and put it on the canvas as individuals, but then we marry it together, and it creates that spontaneity. And I also described West Coast Swing as having a very in depth conversation with the person without saying a word.
Ooh, I love that.
And it's very therapeutic. So for myself, to be able to go to a West Coast Swing party and walk up to a person and say, "May I have this dance?" and they accept, and they don't know what I'm going to do. We have a pattern of a sugar push, a left side pass, a right side pass, a whip, um, and so they know that those patterns exist, but they don't know which one will be asked. And so just that moment of us connecting hand in hand, and there's a leader and a follower, and there's a connection that we had, and we also have the gift of an amazing creativity together as people. And that is what really just blew my mind, because how good do we feel when we call up a good friend and we have these nice, in depth, constructive conversations? We feel so refreshed. I call it free therapy. So we feel so refreshed when we talk to a good friend, and perhaps we have different point of views about something, but we can be constructive and respect each other's view. And then you go, wow, we feel validated when people recognize our feelings on something. Whether they agree with it or not, we're validated as such. And West Coast Swing is having that conversation 10 times more in depth. And so it just blows my mind, because we all need that. We need good constructive conversations, and um, really affects our lives in a good way.
Definitely. I was thinking about how social this is, and I can't not think about how this pandemic and COVID must have had such an intense uh, disruption to how you experience and practice this style. How did you deal with dancing a partner dance form through Zoom or through, when we're stuck in our house? How was that?
I remember a long time ago, a person said to me, a well-known statement. It said, "When life hands you lemons, make lemonade." And I remember when the pandemic first started, I was just really at a decent level as a West Coast swing dancer. And it takes a lot of humility when you're this master level hip hop instructor and you can go somewhere and do all of these Michael Jackson performances and people just go bananas. And now you got to be this little bitty kid in the class going, "Oh my God, my first step." But I swallowed my pride and said, "Hey, Christopher, listen, it's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay that you don't know this dance, and the more time you put into this dance, the quicker you're going to get good at it. So I thought about that expression, when life hands you lemons, make lemonade. And I go, yeah, Christopher Bledsoe is going to alter that statement. And so my statement is, when life hands you lemons, not only make lemonade, but create a lemonade stand and sell out. And I remember feel right? I remember
Yes,
feeling
I
that
love
way
that.
about West Coast Swing. And I said, there's no excuses. And I said, this is a partner dance, but I'm not going to use any excuses. So I practiced 3 hours a day, every day, for 90 days straight on
Wow.
doing my patterns as a leader and a follower. And I contacted my instructors because they had said to me, sorry, we can't teach you in person anymore due to COVID. And I said, you know what? Let's do this. I said, how about I record myself practicing, and then you guys, and I'll send the videos to you guys, and you guys audit them, and you give me feedback, and you charge me a fee. And they were like, we've never done that before. And I go, but don't doubt it. Let's just do it. And they were like, okay. And I remember so many times my instructors telling me, Christopher, you dance so well by yourself. I can see the other person dancing with you when they're not there.
Mm.
And I just went for it, and I just kept going, and I kept going. And I just love it. And I got to a point where I progress to an elevated level that I was really well respected. And then so I decided, once COVID kind of low ebbed a bit, to run an ad and find some dance partners. And I'm like, listen, I wear gloves, I wear a mask, we'll be in a well ventilated area. And I remember getting two ladies to respond to that, and they lived in New Jersey. And I said, no problem. I would drive to New Jersey several times a week. I don't care. When I love something, distance and sacrifices is no issue. You got to go for what you want. And I met these two ladies, and I was practicing with them, and it was so much fun. And I had another guy so we could rotate the dancers, and we wore masks and everything. And those ladies told me about a Zoom class. And that Zoom class just happened to be taught by the best West Coast swing dancer in the world, in my opinion. He's a 17-time champion in dance. And I saw him on the video. I signed up for his Zoom class, and he was teaching us dance, and he was looking in the gallery, and he was just like, there's something unique about that guy, that Christopher. And I just was dancing my best. I never thought in a million years he would even notice me. And then they orchestrated a vaccine only, mask mandatory, in-person workshop, but we were spaced out very, very well. And I went to that workshop, and I met him in person. And he said to me, you have to take private lessons with me. It's a decision that I have made. And I was just like shocked that he would say that to me. And I said, well, don't you threaten me with the good time, because I will take you up on it.
So funny. That's a really good point. And that's making lemonade out of lemons of what we're handed. There's so many people that I got to train with who I never would have been able to take class from, and I got to take class from them in my living room while we were all stuck in our house. I got to take class from people in LA, and that is such a good point. Like, as much as it was miserable being stuck inside for so long, there are so many things that would have never been possible, and this show would have never been a thought to have it this way. There's so many things that have come out of this unfortunate pandemic, and so it's such a great way to look at it and to find the blessings in it. So that was a great reminder for me as well. So thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely. And I also had a lot of time to think and to meditate. And I in 2010 I was in my best shape, very athletic, and then I had worked so many jobs, and I wasn't in the shape that I wanted to be. And I said again, I've made up my mind. So right after 2010 happened, I'm like, and then the pandemic came. I said, I want to get back in shape, and I don't want to just get as good as I was in 2010. I want to get better. I'm going to set my goal higher. And I did. I just changed my entire lifestyle when it came to working. I was basically working 4 full-time jobs, which was just ridiculous. And I never really had time for myself. I never had time to decompress. And of course, when you're working all that, you're eating on the go. So my health was just terrible. And I just dropped everything. And it's really unique because I have an aquatics company, Swimming Past the Boundaries, and I had just closed my company because I said, I have to take care of my health and I have to take care of me. And I realized so many people were depending on me, but none of those people were encouraging me to take care of myself and my health and get rest. And I
Mm.
realized that I was putting everybody around me first, and I wasn't respecting myself at all. So I shut the swim company, and it was like a month before the pandemic hit. And I remember and I had like over 300 students. And I remember all these parents contacted me and they said, "Well, what are we going to do? You provide so much for our kids." And I said, "I can't provide for your kids if I'm not alive." And I said, "I'm going to do what's best for me. You guys will always need me, but I have to need myself." So I
Mm.
closed the company. I quit the other jobs all the way down to just one job. I just took my refrigerator. I cleaned out all of the food. Anything that was new, I donated to the local food pantry, and I just did extensive research and case studies on nutrition and what really works. I've heard people say, "Oh, if you want to be healthy, then basically you can eat nothing." And it's so depressing. But that is just so far from the truth. There's a really nice variety of diet that we can eat. And so I did a ton of research. I discovered everything that I wanted to do. Um, in 90 days, I turned my health report around tremendously. And I
Wow.
remember my endocrinologist, he just said, "Who are you?" I've never seen this happen before. And I was like, "Oh, the next 90 days I see you, I'm gonna do this, 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 and this, and this." And he was just staring at me. And I did all of that. I lost 72 pounds. And just
Wow.
today I went to see my family doctor, and it just brings tears to your eyes that now when I get my blood test results, because usually if anything is bad, it's highlighted in red.
Yeah.
And it's just so nice to look at that report and nothing is in red. And no medication. It's just strictly my diet, exercise, um, and I made a promise to myself a long time ago, right before the pandemic. I said, I will only add positive things to my life from this point on. Anything
Mm.
in my life that challenges my pride, my dignity, and my self respect will be rejected. And I don't care, even if it's family, I have to do this. And mentally, my life, not only physically but mentally, it just improved dramatically. And I look at people and things and I just say, "Hey, if you want to be a positive force in my life, then you get the privilege to be in my life. But if it's not positive, there's no room for you in my life. And I
Mm.
just felt this, it's like this yoga cleansing through your body. And my life has just been unbelievably beautiful, unbelievably happy. And it's a good way to protect yourself. Um, and God has taught me to love and respect myself. And we live in a world where if you say positive things about yourself, people look at you strange because they're so accustomed to either one end of the spectrum or the other. And you got to love yourself. You got to respect yourself. And I tell my friends all the time, you're never capable of loving someone else until you learn to love yourself.
Mm.
We just can't
Definitely.
give to others if we're empty, you know? And so I'm so elated with that concept and loving myself and respecting myself and having no issues with walking away. I give people a pink slip, you know? And, it's nice that I live as the example of what I preach. I'm always the type of person that I want people to be to me.
Mm.
And so I had this idea to fly in this world-renowned West Coast swing dance instructor, fly him to New York, and I had prepared, had the concept I was going to cook all of these amazing, nutritious meals for him. And I invited my dance partners to come and live with me. So we were all vaccinated. My house has an air filtration system in it. And so I was like, we can do this, we're going to be fine. So I flew in the instructor and my dance partners, and we all lived together in my house for 4 days. And I cooked breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything, every day.
Wow.
And it was just so nice to do all of these meals, these healthy and delicious meals that I created. And it was so much fun. And I remember saying to myself, it feels so good to eat without the guilt. And everything that I would prepare, these gourmet meals, everything on the plate was 100% healthy. And then my instructor taught me some amazing things, and he left. And my dance partner was in my kitchen one day, and it's unfortunate that we live in a world that people are judged whether they're male or female, and there's this concept that women can cook and men can't.
Mm.
And that's just unfortunate because it shouldn't matter. And I was looking at two of my dance partners. They were in my kitchen and they were talking about how great the food was. And they said to me, it's embarrassing that we are ladies and we can't cook. And I looked over at them and I go, these meals are very easy to make. And that's when this light bulb just came on that you have to write a book. And it's got to be called Delicious Healthy Meals, Easy Simple Meals That Anyone Can Make.
Yeah. Totally. It's so awesome. I feel like when you allow yourself to be immersed in creativity and then more creativity just comes from that. So it's like diving into this dance world. I think, like you said, it's not just steps, and like when we follow our passions and enjoy what we're doing and open up our heart to all of this creativity, who knows what else could be possible. I love that so much. Before we get into our first game, I would love to know a quick little story about this hip hop frog performance, because I can't let you leave here today without telling me a little bit about it, because I thought that was just so adorably amazing. I love that song. I teach a lot of kids hip hop, so I was like, I need this track. Like, I need more info. Tell me all about the hip hop frog.
So years ago, um, I used to host open mic nights a lot and do theater and bring the community together. And there was this amazing singer there one night. And I went up to her and I said, "Oh my God, you are just such an amazing singer. I really enjoyed your performance." And then we were talking, and she said, "Oh, I heard that you are a multiple business owner, and I'm starting a business." And I was like, "Oh, I could give you the contact information for a web designer." And we were talking, and we exchanged information. Then she contacted me later and she says, "Hey, I've been offered a spot on this pre Broadway show in New York City." And I said, "Congratulations. You certainly have a great voice." And she goes, "Yeah, but I don't have a great voice like you, and I can dance." And she goes, "They need someone else in the pre Broadway show." And I said, "Oh, it's New York City. I live upstate. I'm not a big, I love visiting the city, but living in it is a different thing." And she was like, "Please come and audition. I won't accept no as an answer." So I went and I auditioned, and I immediately got the part. And I was just blown away, and they liked me so much in my feedback that they asked me to be on the board to
So
do
cool.
to, yeah, to do the auditions for the others coming on. And I said, "Well, sure." And so I had a good friend in New Jersey, and I went and lived with her for like 6 months so I could be in New York City, because her place, you could just walk across the street and take the bus, and you're in Manhattan. And that was when you played that video, it just brought back so many memories, because what they do with the pre-Broadway shows is you perform, and then there are individuals that television producers, representatives from Disney, they all come and they sit in the audience, and if they like the show, then they'll invest in it, etc., etc. And I remember being told that a representative of Disney World was in the audience, and they were looking. And I just said, "Oh, I can't focus on the people in the audience because I would just lose it." I'm like, "I just got to be me." And I had that part of Hip Hop Frog. And I remember them saying to me, "Well, aren't what's your choreography?" And I said, "Oh, I don't do any choreography. I just have to hear the music, and I just have to improv." And that's what Michael Jackson did. Obviously there were some performances where there was choreographed choreography, but the majority of the times he was improving in his performances when he's just doing his thing. And they were like, "Oh my God, it's no way you could get on stage and just improv the moment." And I'm like, "Trust me, if I tried to stick to choreography, I will get nervous. I will forget what I'm supposed to do. No, just play the music and let me be free." And that's what happened there. And so the Hip Hop Frog was a real popular moment in the show, because people were able to see that type of dance. So that's how I got the part, and I really enjoyed it. But I love New York City, but it's not a place that I could live. And I said, "I'm sorry, guys, but I got to go back upstate. I love seeing squirrels. I love smelling fresh cut grass being mowed. I cannot deal with the smog, the horns blowing, and it just wasn't my thing." But it was an amazing time. I had an amazing time, and I love the city to this day. It's just not a place I can live.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, it's time for our very first game. Would you rather? So, if you are watching live, or if you're watching the replay, or if you're listening to the audio, definitely comment and let us know what you would pick. It's always fun to see what people pick. So, let's start. Oh, this one's kind of wild. Okay. Would you rather be covered head to toe in luminous green fur, or have visible farts?
I think I'll take the first one.
Yeah, the fur. Definitely. Okay. Next one. Would you rather have to constantly stream the private thoughts of everyone within 1 mile directly into your mind, or have armpits full of sticky honey?
Armpits full of sticky honey.
Ooh, yeah. You'd always have something for tea ready to go. Okay, last one. Would you rather have spaghetti for hair or have your speech replaced with the sound of Bohemian Rhapsody when you open your mouth?
I'll take the second one.
Yeah, the Bohemian Rhapsody. No spaghetti hair for you.
No.
Amazing. Well, I would love to know some of your other passions outside of dance. I know we started talking about your cookbook. That is so, so cool. What are some of the other things that you are up to?
Master level swimming instructor, so I love swimming. I did recently organize a indoor swimming groups for since we have the winter, and that's been going really good. I love swimming. Swimming is just a moment where you get to just be free and just be one with the water. So, and then I'm going to reopen my swim company in the spring of this year, but it's going to be only like 1 or 2 days a week, and it's going to be part time, so I don't overload myself. I miss all of my students and looking forward to seeing everybody again. Love tennis, so play tennis a lot. The Australian Open is on, so I certainly follow tennis on television. Um, Love diet and exercise, so have a very good workout program. I've recruited some of my friends to follow my diet and work out, so we do that a lot. Love singing. It's been a while since I've gotten back into singing, and I'm really excited to be doing that again. Um, Years ago, I recorded a version of Elvis Presley "Can't Help Falling in Love" and I went to a studio to do that. So I'm just toying with the idea of just doing it for fun, not having it as something that is a requirement or a pressure, but something that I enjoy. Um, Love walking for exercise and just taking in nature and being able to meditate and really love those things. So
Yeah.
just all around life things, I feel.
Yeah, I love that. And when do you think your cookbook is going to be available? Is it finished or are you still working out some recipes and writing it?
The book is 99% finished. I just have to do the finishing touch. I did the pictures myself. And
Wow,
um,
another thing that you do.
yeah, well, I just can't help it. I started taking pictures of the food and everything, and I did those pictures. The pictures look nice, but I do have this app that can change the background, so I kind of want to play with that and see if the backgrounds can be changed and made even better. And then just finishing touches on it. I wanted my book not to be something that was a chore. I wanted it to be something that I enjoy. So it is slated to be released the end of February, 1st of March, and it'll be available
Ooh.
on all of the online shows, the online internet, as far as Amazon, all of the major places that you can buy and purchase books. It will be available on all of those channels. And I'm also going to have the privilege to record the audio of the book. So I'll do the voiceover
Ooh.
for that, which is a cool option to have. And it will also be available as an ebook. So it can be purchased and downloaded. So
Nice.
that's
Definitely
really
everyone
exciting.
check that out. Definitely check that out. Okay, it's time for our second game, which is less of a game and more of just mystery questions. So I'm going to pick one from each category and we'll see what we get. And then you get to decide which one we answer first. So let's see what we have. Let's see. And ooh, I got too many. Awesome. Okay. Ooh, these are some good ones. Okay, let's see here. Pick a color.
I'll start out with the blue.
Okay. Let's see. When was the last time you cried? We're getting deep right away.
Wow, the last time I cried was probably today.
Honestly, same. I
I
think
was so
it's
happy.
good to let it out, you know?
Absolutely. It was good tears, happy tears.
Oh, good. That's good. Next question.
Orange.
Oh, what is the weirdest thing you've had happen on a date?
The weirdest thing, the weirdest thing that I've had to happen on a date. Oh my God, there's a lot of those. Uh, I guess I'll share the first one that comes to mind. I was on a date once, and the waitress walked over to do our order, and she gave me a compliment, and it was just awkward. And I didn't even know she was talking to me. And I had to say to her, "Are you talking to me?" And she said, "Yes." And it made my friend feel uncomfortable. It was a weird dynamic.
Yeah. Okay, next question.
Purple.
Who are your top three real life heroes?
Oh, my
That's
top
hard.
three real life heroes. My top, so they have to be real life.
I
So,
guess that's like people that maybe you know, like in your
oh,
life.
that I
I
know.
think that's what it means.
Robin Roberts, on the Good Morning America show. I met her in
Mm.
person, and I just think she has amazing, amazing energy. And the fact that she survived cancer, and she's such a positive person. So Robin Roberts would be one. Real life person. God is ultimate for me. It's real life.
That
And
counts.
hero. I think anyone that's really following their dreams in this crazy world
Mm,
would be my real life hero.
I love that. And the last one of these is what's your favorite gadget?
My favorite gadget, I guess now would be my Samsung Galaxy Watch because it can do everything. I
Ooh.
monitor my health and my vitals all the time. And this watch, it can answer my phone, it can show me all of my notifications. I can play music and stop music during dance class right on my wrist.
Ooh.
It's just amazing the things that this phone could do, this watch could do. So, um, someone called me the other day, and I pressed answer on my phone, and it was just so cool to be walking around, and I'm talking to them on my wrist, and
Yeah,
um,
it
so
feels very
I'm
like secret agent. Like, look how like small you can have your phone. That's so cool. Definitely, smartwatches are definitely appealing to me.
absolutely, absolutely.
Amazing. Well, the last question that I ask everyone on this show is, what brings out your most creative self?
What brings out my most creative self is really praying to God and just meditating. That's when I become the most creative. Is when I just really do a prayer and just let go of everything and just hand myself over to God's good graces. And that's when my most brilliant ideas happen. And there's always this confidence from God that I'll get it done, and I do. I work hard to make it
Amazing.
happen. I don't believe in just dreaming dreams. I believe in making them happen.
I love that. Well, where can people find you? Plug everything that you have to plug. I'm sure there's so many. We didn't even talk about your podcast, so definitely plug everything, and we'll put all the links in the show notes.
Well, one of the easiest ways to have access to everything is to go to the www.westdnightout.com. Um, all of my podcast information is there. My meetup for the dance classes, obviously, my website is there. You'll get to see videos. I will be posting on my website when my book is released, and I will have the link there. So the Westy night out.com is a perfect place to go, and you'll have access to everything that I'm doing. My podcast is doing very good. It is, I have an audience all around the world, which is totally mind boggling to me that that could be possible. Had a very good year last year with the podcast, and I'm on course to have a real good year with the podcast. So excited about the cookbook coming out. Just beyond myself. My dance company is doing very well. I'm blown away by the clients that I have and the success that we're all enjoying, and um, just continue to live life to the full. But yeah, they just check out the website. They'll have access to all of the links to all of the activities that I'm doing.
Amazing. And if you would like to follow the Instagram for Dear Dance, definitely check out Dear Dance Pod. If you would like to see my personal stuff, you can head over to Haley Grove on Instagram. And the last thing that I will plug is the Patreon. So if you would like to support this show, we would love to have you as a patron. We have 4 awesome patrons right now. So shout out to our Karen, Sophie, Amanda, and Maya. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Once we get to 100 patrons, the Dancer's Dream Grant Program will launch, and we'll be donating $1 per patron every month to a dancer who has a creative project that needs help being funded. So whether that is hiring a videographer, or renting studio space, or paying your dancers, or getting them some really good snacks, we can all help lift up the dance community. So definitely check it out. It's $5 a month, and we're on our way. And also don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, Essentially Haley. It would mean so much to me. And I think those are all the things I have to plug. So thank you so, so much for being here. This was such a joy. I'm so glad that we're connected. And thank you again.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all that you do. Thoroughly
Thank
appreciate it.
you. Amazing. Well, have a great night, everyone. And we'll see you
All right,
soon.
we'll see you later.
Bye.